Hello and welcome to the Alpha Edge Podcast, the show for men over 50 who refuse to fade out, slow down, play small, or settle for average. I'm your host, Kevin English. I'm a healthy aging expert, coach, and founder of the Alpha Edge, and I am here to help you get and stay strong in every dimension of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. You're here because you're ready to reclaim your power, to own your masculinity, and lead your life with strength and purpose. If you're ready to sharpen your edge, revive your drive, and lead like a man who's built for more, you're in the right place. All right, men, let's get after it. All right, guys, you ever see a man who's just totally lost his spark? He's got a job, he's got a house, a wife, maybe even a golf membership, but there is no fire behind the eyes anymore. He's just existing. And if we're being honest, that man might be you. Once upon a time, you were dangerous. You walked into a room with presence. You had energy. You had purpose. And you had that unspoken confidence that says, I know who I am. But somewhere along the way, that edge dulled. The body got softer. The goals got smaller. And the fire turned into embers. And it's just like that old Austin Powers line, I've lost my mojo, baby. Except it's not funny when it's real life. See, too many men hit middle age and they start playing small. They shrink. They apologize for their masculinity. They trade adventure for comfort, boldness for approval, and purpose for distraction. And then they wonder why they feel restless, anxious, and, well, just a little bit dead inside. Guys, that's not how you were designed to live. You were built for strength, for leadership, for mission. Swagger, real swagger, isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about grounded confidence. It's about walking through life knowing you've earned your strength, your respect, and your peace. So today, I'm going to talk about how to get your swagger back. How do you reclaim your mojo? Not by faking confidence or pretending to be someone you're not, but by rebuilding the kind of masculine presence that naturally commands respect. And we're going to start with the physical, your body, your health, your appearance, because confidence begins in the body. And then we're going to move into mindset and mission, because really that's where true swagger is built from the inside out. And my hope is by the end of this episode, you're going to leave with a step-by-step roadmap to reignite your confidence and start showing up like the strong, capable man you were born to be. All right, so grab your coffee, or better yet, your protein smoothie, and let's get to work, because it's time to get your edge back. It's time to get your mojo back. It's time to be dangerous again. So here's the truth when it comes to confidence. Confidence starts in your body. You cannot think your way into swagger if you feel like crap physically. You can journal about mindset and visualize all day long. Nothing wrong with those things. But if you're 40 pounds overweight, living on coffee and processed carbs and sleeping like crap, no amount of affirmation is going to fix that. So if you want your mojo back, you got to rebuild the machine, because the body is the vessel for your mind, your mission, and your masculine power. So let's start with the basics. First up, I want you to fuel like a man, not like a boy. Most guys over 50 are still eating like teenagers. They're having cereal for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, and a few beers at night, and whatever's easy for dinner. Guys, that's not fuel. That's sedation. If you want to feel strong, alert, and confident again, you've got to start eating like a man on a mission, and that means real food. Steak, eggs, chicken, rice, potatoes, vegetables, fruit, protein at every single meal. Water, like lots of water, and cut the crap. The sugar, the seed oils, the booze, and the late night snacks. They're not serving you in any way at all. And know that every bite you eat is a signal to your body. You're either telling it to build strength and vitality, or to store fat and coast through life on low power mode. So choose strength. And here's a bonus. Eating clean, nutrient-dense food helps optimize your testosterone, which is the hormonal fountain of mojo. So better food equals better hormones, better energy, and a better mood. Number 2, guys, you got to train like you mean it. You don't need to live in the gym, but you do need to train. Lift some heavy things. Move your body every day. Do the hard, uncomfortable stuff that builds grit and discipline. Weak men lack confidence because they feel weak, and deep down, they know it. Strong men move differently. They stand taller. They speak with authority. They carry themselves with quiet confidence because their body backs it up. So if you've been coasting, it's time to change that. Get back to lifting weights 3, maybe 4 times a week. Walk every single day. Stretch, roll, breathe, just the basics. Do something that challenges your body and reminds you that you are still dangerous. And here's the side benefit. Training boosts testosterone, sharpens focus, and makes you more resilient in every area of your life. Next up, sleep like a king. If you're bragging about surviving on 4 or 5 hours a night, just stop. That's not tough. That's dumb. Sleep is when your body rebuilds. It's when your hormones rebalance and when your confidence recharges. You can't be sharp, focused, and energetic if you're chronically exhausted. You'll just end up irritable, foggy, and flatlined. So set a bedtime like a grown man. Turn off the screens, darken the room, and aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Sleep is your secret weapon for vitality, libido, and performance in and out of the gym. All right, so those are my big 3. Feel like a man, train like you mean it, and sleep like a king. Let's give you guys a few bonus swagger builders here. So if you want to stack some easy wins, here's a quick checklist of things you can do to rebuild that mojo. Drink a gallon of water every day. Get 20 minutes of sunlight every day, and bonus points if you can do that in the morning. Cut alcohol for 30 days. Maybe take some cold showers. Fix your posture. Chest up, shoulders back, always. And move like a man with purpose. You'll be amazed how much more confident you feel just from these small daily habits. And guys, before we finish up talking about swagger and the physical body, we got to talk about the hormonal connection because testosterone is the fuel of mojo. So look, I'm not saying that testosterone is the only ingredient in confidence, but it is a huge one. Low T means low drive, low energy, low mojo. So when testosterone is optimized, everything changes. Your mood, your motivation, yes, your libido, your mental sharpness, your sense of vitality, all of that ticks up when you optimize your testosterone levels. So if you haven't had your levels checked recently, do it now. And don't fall for the idea that this is just happens with age. Yes, testosterone does decline naturally, but lifestyle has a massive impact on that. Clean nutrition, resistance training, quality sleep, stress management, and eliminating alcohol, these things alone can raise your testosterone naturally. If you master these fundamentals, you won't just feel younger, you'll move like a man who's fully alive again. So, before we talk about mindset, purpose, and brotherhood, you've got to take care of this physical foundation, because your body is the container for your confidence. When you eat like a warrior, train like a savage, and rest like a king, you're going to start to look like a man again. You'll start to feel like a man again. And before long, that swagger returns all on its own. All right, guys, I want to shift focus here from the physical body, and I want to talk about hygiene, style, and presence. You ever notice how some men just look cool? They look confident. They look like they got mojo before they even open their mouths. They just walk into a room and people take notice. And it's not because they're the best looking or the most jack. It's the way they carry themselves. They carry themselves like a man who gives a damn. And that's what I like to call the outer game. That's your hygiene, your style, and your presence. And it matters a lot more than most guys realize. Because if you don't take care of yourself on the outside, what kind of message are you sending to the world, and to yourself, by the way, about who you are? So let's start with hygiene, because respect starts with clean. So the very bottom shelf of this, the very foundation here, let's just start with the basic, gentlemen, and that's this: be clean. Shower daily, wash your face, trim your nails, brush and floss your teeth, wear deodorant, not body spray. You want to smell like a grown man, not a frat boy. If you've got a beard, groom it. If you shave, shave intentionally. Keep your hair, or what's left of it, neat and styled. And look, this isn't about vanity. It's about respect. A man who can't master basic hygiene can't be trusted to lead anything. Not a business, not a team, not a family. And you'll be amazed at how much better you feel when you walk out the door actually looking like you take yourself seriously. Next up, dress like a man, not like a teenager. And so this next piece of the outer game is your style. And look, I'm not talking about any crazy fashion trends. I'm just talking about dressing like a man. So somewhere along the way, a lot of us guys just gave up. baggy shorts, graphic tees from 1998, sneakers that look like they've been through a war zone. Guys, we can do better. You don't need to spend a fortune. You just need to dress intentionally. So here are a few basics. Here's what's in my Alpha Edge wardrobe essentials. You want a good pair of dark jeans that fit. You want some solid, clean shirts, no logos, no jokes, no beer brands. You want a few button downs that actually fit. Again, they should fit your waist, they should fit your shoulders, they should fit your arms. You want a sturdy pair of boots. And for goodness sakes, get some socks without holes, okay? And you want some functional outerwear that fits your lifestyle. If you work outdoors, dress like a rugged outdoorsman. If you're in business, rock that crisp professional look. If you live an active lifestyle, lean into that athletic casual, but with a purpose. And the key is this: own your vibe. When your clothes fit and reflect who you are, you move differently. You carry yourself with pride instead of shame. And you're signaling to the world, and to yourself, by the way, that you still have standards. Okay, so next let's talk about moving with presence. And here's something that a lot of guys miss, and that's that swagger isn't about words, it's more about presence. Presence is physical, it's energy, it's how you move, it's how you stand, it's how you make eye contact. So check yourself right now. Are your shoulders slumped? Is your gaze down at the floor? Straighten up, chest tall, chin level, shoulders back. Move with purpose. Speak clearly. Look people in the eye. When you do, you instantly project confidence, not arrogance, just certainty. And the funny thing is, the more you do it, the more you actually feel it, because your body leads your mind. If you carry yourself like a man who's got his act together, your brain gets the message and your confidence follows suit. And if you really want to elevate your presence, just dial in the small things that a lot of guys overlook. Things like keep your car clean. It's a rolling reflection of your discipline. Wear a watch, not because you need to know the time, but because it signals order and presence. Keep your shoes clean, shined, and your fingernails trimmed. And stand when you shake a hand, offer a firm grip, and look a man in the eyes and smile. None of that costs you that much, but it pays massive dividends in how you're perceived and how you perceive yourself. And I'll finish here, wrapping up, talking about your outer game here. Swagger is earned, it's not worn. So look, you can't fake swagger with some designer clothes or fancy cologne. True swagger is earned through discipline, pride, and consistency. When you show up every day clean, fit, well-dressed, and composed, you're telling the world, I respect myself, I respect my mission, and I'm not done yet. And that, more than any amount of muscles or money, is what's going to make a man magnetic. So next up, we're going to talk about the real engine behind swagger, and that's your inner game. Because once your physical and outer presentation are dialed in, it's time to fortify the part of you that no one can see, and that's your mindset, your mission, and your spiritual edge. And that's where the real magic happens. So let's get to that next. You can have the body, you can have the look, but if you don't have the inner game, that's the mindset, the mission, the brotherhood, you're still going to feel hollow. Because real swagger isn't skin deep, it's soul deep. It's been my experience that men lose their mojo when they lose their mission. When you don't know what you're fighting for, life starts to feel aimless. You drift, you distract yourself, you scroll, you coast. But here's the truth. You were created for conquest, not comfort. Every man needs a mountain to climb, a mission to pursue, a fight that demands his strength. Side note, that's exactly why I created the Alpha Edge Battle Planner. This is a tactical guide to help you rediscover your life and bring it back to life. Inside this guide, I have you define your core values, something that I've found a lot of you guys out there haven't given a whole lot of value to, but this is your personal code of honor. I have you write your mission statement in there. This is your war cry, your reason for getting out of bed every morning. And then I have you build out a 90-day battle plan so that every day you're gaining ground across all 5 of our pillars of strength. That's physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, moral strength, and spiritual strength. And if you guys are interested in that, that's a free download, by the way. If you guys are interested in that, I'll throw a link to that Alpha Edge Battle Planner into the show notes here. You guys can find that on whatever app you're listening to this on. But I just want you guys to know that when a man wakes up each day with a clear mission and a plan to execute, everything changes. He moves with intention. He speaks with conviction. And that quiet confidence, that's real swagger. Next up, you got to know who you are. Confidence doesn't come from pretending to be someone you're not. It comes from remembering who you are. You are a man created in the image of God, designed to lead, protect, and provide. But when you forget that, when you compromise your values, your confidence dies a slow death. The fix? Get reacquainted with your core values. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What do I refuse to tolerate? What kind of man do I want to be remembered as? Write it down. Live it daily, because when your actions align with your values, your self-respect skyrockets, and self-respect is the root of all confidence. Next up, build mental and emotional strength. While physical training builds muscle, mental training builds resilience. Start challenging your mind the same way you challenge your body. Read books that sharpen your thinking. Practice discipline. Do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And master your emotions. Don't suppress them. Own them. When you stay calm under pressure, when you stop reacting and start responding, that's when you become truly dangerous in the best ways possible. Confidence isn't about being loud, it's about being grounded. The man who's centered physically, mentally, emotionally can't be easily shaken. Next up, moral and spiritual strength. These are your unshakable core of confidence. So let's be real. The world today is trying to soften men. Conviction is mocked, discipline is rare, and faith is certainly optional. But you and I know better. True swagger comes from being anchored in something bigger than yourself. Your moral strength is your compass, the choices you make when no one's watching. Your spiritual strength is your anchor, your connection to God, to truth, to the mission behind your mission. Guys, read scripture, pray, meditate, serve. Be a man whose confidence isn't built on approval or status, but on identity. A man who knows who he is and whose he is. That's where unstoppable confidence is born. And next up, remember, iron sharpens iron and brotherhood builds swagger. So here's one of the final pieces that a lot of us guys overlook, and that's brotherhood. You can't do this alone. Lone wolves starve. Packs survive. Confidence multiplies when you surround yourself with other strong men who hold you accountable, challenge your excuses, and push you towards greatness. And that's what we're trying to build here at the Alpha Edge. We want to build a tribe of men who are sharpening each other in every pillar of strength. Because when you do life alongside men who are on fire for purpose, discipline, and growth, your edge gets sharper, your mission gets clearer, and your swagger becomes unshakable. So here's your charge, guys. If you've lost your mojo, know that it's not gone. It's just buried under years of neglect, distraction, and drift. So start digging. Fuel your body. Train with intent. Sleep like a king. Then write your code. Define your mission. Sharpen your mind. Anchor your soul. And link arms with other men walking the same path. Because confidence isn't something you find. It's something you forge. Day by day, choice by choice, battle by battle. You were built for this. Now go reclaim your edge. All right, man, let's land this plane. We've talked about rebuilding your body, reclaiming your presence, and forging your inner strength. Now it's time to put it all together because, like I said, swagger's not something you're going to find. It's something you're going to forge. And here's the truth. You don't need anyone's permission to get your mojo back. You don't need to wait for perfect timing or for life to get easier. You just need to decide right now, today, that you're done drifting. The world doesn't need more passive men hiding behind comfort and excuses. It needs you, strong, sharp, grounded, and on mission. A man with fire in his belly and purpose in his eyes. That's the man your wife fell in love with. That's the man your kids look up to. That's the man the world's waiting to see again. So here's your charge for this week. Start with the physical. Fuel your body with real food. Train with intensity. Sleep like a warrior. Dial in your hygiene and your appearance. Show up like a man with standards. Then open your Alpha Edge business planner and start building your inner fortress. Define your values. Write your mission. Commit to your next 90 days like lives depend on it because they do. And guys, don't do this alone. Find your brothers. Join a tribe. Start a tribe. Surround yourself with men who won't let you coast because iron sharpens iron and confidence grows in the company of dangerous, disciplined men. Look, the edge you've been missing isn't gone. It's just buried. It's buried under stress, under laziness, under fear, but it's still there, waiting for you to pick it up again. So pick it up, sharpen it, Feed it. Swing it. You were built for this. You were built to lead. You were built to stand tall and carry light into darkness. It's time to rise up, brother. Reclaim your edge, reclaim your mission, reclaim your mojo. Now get out there and lead your life like a man. Okay, men, that's our show for this week. Don't forget to download our free guide titled How to Raise Your Testosterone Naturally. You can find the download link in the show notes for this episode on whatever app you're listening to this podcast on. If you've enjoyed today's show, here are 3 ways you can support us. Number 1, share this episode with a friend. Number 2, make sure to like and follow this show, and please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Number 3, give us a follow over at Instagram. We're at Alpha Edge Army. So that's Alpha Edge Army all run together. I really appreciate you men taking the time to listen. And until next week, stay strong.